Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Farmer Nash, and we are with a very, very, very special guest today. We have none other than the founder of Angel Baby Hit Squad, Fettuccini. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some likes. Let's get some comments in the comment section. So, Fettuccini, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and kind of how you got into the NFT space?
Well, first of all, thank you, Nash, for having me. It's an honor. But I'm Fettuccini. I am an NFT collector primarily. I started with NBA Top Shot, and then one day there was an NBA Top Shot collector who was like, "Yo, check out these things dropping on Cardano. They're the CryptoPunks of Cardano," and that was how I got into Cardano, and I started collecting about a year and a half ago now. It was on March of 21. So I was just experimenting, flipping, collecting, getting to know the community, and I fell in love with the Cardano community. From there, I realized that there was an untapped potential in the community, and I wanted to expose people to that. And I saw the Ethereum ecosystem was blowing up at the time, and I was like, why is the Ethereum ecosystem doing so well, but the Cardano ecosystem is getting no attention? So I came up with the Angel Baby Hit Squad, which is the Ethereum NFT with Cardano utility. So hopefully, the Ethereum collectors would collect this initial NFT, and then they'd have to make a Cardano wallet and get all these airdrops into their
Ah,
Cardano wallet, and hopefully like fall in love with what I did, experiencing all these different communities and collectors and creators that I did.
got it. So you're actually it's an NFT on the Ethereum blockchain, and then you get airdrops to the Cardano blockchain, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. So tell me about a little bit about kind of what you guys do at Angel Baby Hit Squad, and then tell me why I should buy your NFT as opposed to all the other ones on the market.
Yeah, so primarily our purpose is to expand the Cardano network and shed light on just how beautiful it is. So just by collecting one of the Ethereum NFTs, you're guaranteed all of our airdrops on an ongoing basis. So we've airdropped pieces from some of the top artists and top projects on Cardano, including Clay Nation, including Aeonium Sky, including Tyler with Spaces, and we have Space Buds coming up, and we have all these premiere collections coming up. So if you want a taste of Cardano NFTs and just get like your feet wet, it's the perfect NFT for you for 0.0777 ETH. Um, and yeah, I think that a lot of the times on the timeline, Cardano NFTs are overlooked or not appreciated, and that's what we're trying to break down that understanding of Cardano NFTs. Because I mean, in the end, we're all degenerates. We like collecting on we like collecting NFTs. We like taking that risk, and the underlying technology, the blockchain, doesn't really matter. At least to me, I'll collect something on Ethereum. I'll collect something on Solana. I'll collect something on Cardano. But to completely ignore one of the blockchains and let it go by the wayside, I think that is where I see an issue and where I wanted to shed some light.
You know, I'm kind of in the same boat as you recently. I kind of was only on Ethereum and also Ronin for Axie Infinity, but now I figured out about Cardano, and it's like you said, it's a crazy, awesome community of people that are being so overlooked right now. And I genuinely think it's only a matter of time before we actually, kind of see a few people flood into the ecosystem. They're like, okay, maybe something's here, guys. This isn't too much different than ETH. It might even be a little faster with less fees. Let's check this out. So it's really interesting to
Right.
see
I
what's
mean,
going to happen.
if you're looking for opportunity, do you look in the area that there's already 100,000 collectors and 100,000 collections and 100,000 creators, or do you look for an ecosystem that's a lot smaller and has that growth potential? Obviously, we all say that we're still early. No matter what the blockchain is, 1% of people have an NFT. But then you could go a further 1% and say that those people have a Cardano NFT.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're looking at an easier 100x in a Cardano NFT than in an Ethereum or a Solana NFT.
Oh yeah, 100%. So you mentioned that you get some ADA utility, right? So you own an ETH NFT, you get some utility on the Cardano blockchain. Can you explain exactly what is a utility? Is it just airdrops from your project or from other projects? How does that work?
So the way that the airdrops work are they are made by each of the specific projects or artists that we collaborate with, just in the angel theme. So they all have like a common tie to them, but they're each in each individual artist's style. So it's very cool. You get all these different kind of styles of NFTs airdropped into your wallet completely free. There's no cost to that. So that's one facet of the utility. We also have live events. So we did a party in Las Vegas. We did a party in an after party at Coachella. We did a New York City party, and we have another one upcoming in Las Vegas next week. We also have a partnership with an invite-only club in Los Angeles. So if you mint one of our Ultimate Angels, you get lifetime access with a +1 to that club.
That's dope.
We have
Can
a
you name the
partnership
club or
with
no? Is it like secret?
yes, on the rocks in LA.
Okay.
If if you we have a partnership with Frescoes. So if you hold any of our angels, you get a tier B membership to all of their offerings, which is basically upgrades and discounts at hotels throughout Europe.
Oh, that's
We're
crazy.
talking with a hotel in Bali about extending that same offering. So it's really just an overall package of, if you hold this digital collectible, you get access to all these different opportunities that you may not have initially had access to. We're also integrating a utility token, which will be distributed through passive staking with our angels and our airdrops and the upcoming demon collection on Cardano. And you'll be able to use that utility token for initially upgrading the art on the angels. So that was just like a fun upgrade that people could do. We hired an awesome artist to redo the entire collection.
Oh, nice.
And we're tying in the utility token to a lot of the platforms that are available on Cardano to give you either access or discounts, or use that utility token as the currency on their platform. So it'll be a very cool integration when that goes live.
Awesome. When can we expect that, or it's not yet known?
Q1 of 23.
Awesome, awesome. So what do you have to say to someone that, let's say they are not a maxi, but they only have NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain, and they say, "Hey, I like Ethereum. I'm personally never gonna buy a Cardano NFT. I think it's kind of weird, and I don't want to try it." Do you have anything to say to those people who maybe don't want to jump the gun to ADA?
Well, the people who are like diehard maxis,
Yeah,
you're never
facts.
gonna convince them otherwise. But the people who are willing to explore, I mean, I always heard negative things about the Solana blockchain, but then I saw what Frank DGods was doing with his collection, DGods, and I'm like, I want to be a part of a team that is doing something so different and pushing the boundaries and fighting for their community. So I went on Solana, I made a Phantom wallet, and I bought a Dead God because I wanted to be a part of that. So there's always going to be those premier collections, whether it's Yuga on Ethereum, whether it's uh, DGods on Solana, or whatever on Cardano. People are going to want to collect no matter what the blockchain is if they want to be a part of a
Facts.
community strong. So if you look at on Cardano, Space Buds, Clay Nation, any of those premier collections with those awesome communities, if they break out of that tight bubble ecosystem and show people how awesome of a community it is and how awesome of a team it is, people are going to make a wallet regardless of the blockchain. And I think as we develop uh, in the NFT ecosystem, I think it's going to become less and less obvious what blockchain NFTs are on, and more about the collectibles and more about the teams and more about who is changing the game. And I think that
Facts.
arguing about what blockchain is underlying that NFT would be like arguing, screaming at somebody why a Visa card is better than a MasterCard. It all serves the same purpose. It's all a collectible. It's all degeneracy. It's all gambling. It's all fun. So who cares if it's on Cardano? Who cares if it's on Solana or Ethereum?
Yeah, I feel that because there's a lot of people on every chain, right? ADA, Sol, ETH, that they are for their chain. They don't care. They're not using another one. But if a project were to drop on, let's say, Solana, like Dead Gods, Frank, people made a Solana wallet like that, the Phantom wallet, and they actually just tried a new experience, and now they don't mind it as much, right? They're like, okay, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, this blockchain
Right.
centralized, this, that, whatever, but really the same thing. So what I'm thinking is maybe there is currently a project on Cardano, or a project will come out on Cardano, where people literally have to own. They will make a brand new wallet. They'll buy ADA. They'll send it to the wallet just because that project, that team, and that vision is so strong, and people are gonna kind of venture over.
Exactly. So Angel Baby Hit Squad is on Ethereum with the intention of showing people Cardano and getting that onboarded track established. And then Demon Hit Squad, which is coming on Cardano, that is what we're going to show people truly what we could do on the blockchain and make it so fucking cool that you're going to want to collect the Demon Hit Squad. You're going to make a wallet just to have this piece. And we're rewarding the early supporters of the Angel Baby Hit Squad, not only with all those airdrops and the in real life utility, but they get a whitelist token for every angel that they mint airdropped into their Cardano wallet. And you can't mint a demon unless you have that whitelist token. So they're
Mm,
the gatekeepers of the demon mint. They get to choose if they want to mint it themselves or if they want to sell it to somebody else. And that whitelist token alone is going for 50 ADA right now, which is awesome. It's like better
nice.
than half of the collections on Cardano. So it'll be really interesting to see once that mint starts, the whitelist tokens kind of diminishing in quantity and the demons raising in quantity. So I mean, it's 1-to-1 with however many angels are out there. And then on top of that, we have a lot of integrations happening. The war, which makes both collections deflationary angels and demons.
Tell me about
So
that. What is
25,
that?
yeah. So that I'm really excited about because Angel Baby Hit Squad, out of the 8,200 minted so far, there's only 52 on secondary. And
Oh,
there's no
damn.
staking yet. Yeah, there's no staking yet or anything. People just really like to hold it and get those airdrops. Once staking goes out and once the war starts, that's gonna go from 50 to 10, uh, because 25% of the angel royalties are gonna go to buy and burn the demon floor, and 25% of demon royalties are gonna go to buy and burn the angel floor,
That's
making
crazy.
both collections deflationary, which will raise the angel price to, I mean, 500,000 ADA and secondary on the demons would make the angel floor go to zero point 0.5 ETH, which would then incentivize people to mint angels. We're at 75% minted, which would get them the demon token. So it creates a whole circle. It's going to be a lot of fun when we launch the demon.
Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of Ponzi-nomics in there, but I think it's because you want to make it deflationary. Like you kind of want to drive value to the people that are holding. So I do get that. Can you tell me a
Yeah,
little
it'll be
bit?
it'll and it's only a few hundred pieces potentially that'll get burnt because of the low listing amount. It's just something to keep it engaging and also make it deflationary because we've heard criticisms about the project in terms of like the supply count being 11,111, the art being outdated, and we grassrooted this entire project. So I built it with $0. And now that we have the funds, I'm looking to upgrade the art. So to counter that criticism, we're doing the deflationary mechanic to counter that criticism. So it's about figuring out every problem that we've heard about the project, kind of figuring out and condensing it into one small digestible problem, and then giving a solution to that. So that's what we concocted as our solution to those two criticisms.
Nice. Yeah. And I'm actually building a project kind of like from zero, ground zero, as you'll say. So I know it's very hard and you don't have as many resources to work with as like the big teams that have funding, stuff like that. So it's very interesting and it's cool that you kind of like want to, I'm not going to say make up for the flaws, but you want to make it better now that you're like, okay, we have money. We want to show our holders that we're trying to do something like better now that we have the funds to do it. So that's pretty cool. And I want to ask you about the difference between the ETH and the ADA community. So I've recently joined the ADA community. It's been about, let's say, 3 weeks now. Time's flying. What I've noticed is that it's pretty much the same. There's a lot of NFT degens. Everyone's just trying to have a good time, maybe learn a little bit, maybe create some cool things. But there are some key differences. Can you tell me what your experience is, kind of talking to the ETH community, talking to the ADA community, and how those are a little different or maybe the same?
So I'm a lot more accustomed to the ADA community. Um, and from what I've noticed is that the community is so small that, I mean, developers, collectors, uh, artists, they're all within this small ecosystem and they're all interacting with each other. So inevitably you learn all these things about like the technology and all these boring things about the Cardano
Did you know you
blockchain.
can
But
bundle transactions in Cardano?
yeah, exactly. You learn all these things, these like little points that people consistently rattle off to people to be like, oh, Cardano is the best. But it also is such a tight community because of the consistent like shit that they've gotten from Ethereum or Solana collectors about the blockchain. So it's kind of like through the hardship, they've become stronger and more condensed of a community. So when somebody does come in, they're either going to be welcomed, like celebrated, or they're going to be battled against,
That's facts.
depending on the way that they come into
Hmm.
the blockchain. And I think that on Ethereum, it's uh, more about the degeneracy, more about just like, oh, I made a 100x flip. Whereas on Cardano, it's more about I just genuinely enjoy being a part of this project, and I think that's more of like an overall sentiment. Obviously, not about individual collectors in the space because I think everybody is different. But I mean, I think you would be better seeing the Cardano ecosystem for the first time, being able to explain like what you see as the difference.
Yeah, I really do agree with that. I think the people on Cardano are more like believers in the projects rather than, I'm not going to say flippers, but rather than speculators, I'll say. Yes, they're still speculating, but a lot of the people will not buy the project unless they have a clear cut plan, stuff like that. On ETH, a lot of the projects are trying to get, I'll say, mainstream appeal, where they have this really cool like marketing plan. You don't really know what's going to happen. It's kind of a mystery. And that really kind of drives up the floor price and the hype, and people get excited. But I think the Cardano community wants a more clear cut plan. I'm saying this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And this is why we're charging like
Right.
100 ADA. And that's kind of what I figured out. And it's weird to get used to it coming from ETH.
Right. I think on ETH, it can rely a little bit more on hype, and on Cardano, things need to be really laid out. Otherwise, it doesn't get the traction that it should. And a lot of times, I feel like that's almost a detriment to Cardano because I think the veil of mystery is so interesting and it keeps projects going a lot of the time. But a lot of the time, collectors will be like, we need to know what the roadmap is. We need to know this. Just in terms of my project, I like to keep things, I like to have a general structure of where the roadmap's going, but I like to be nimble enough to jump around and keep with hotter trends and keep our project always in the focus. I mean, that's why we structured our airdrops to go out every 3 to 4 weeks because it's so hard to keep as a project to keep your name in the
Yeah.
ecosystem, to keep people talking about your project. So with our structure of every 3 to 4 weeks an airdrop going out, you're always going to be hearing about Angel Baby Hit Squad in the Cardano ecosystem, at least because people are tweeting out, I just got this airdrop, I just got this airdrop, I just got this airdrop, and it keeps it interesting. So throughout the entire time we've been minting, there's always been that conversation about ABHS.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that's a cool strategy, right? Because no project can take the number one spot for more than like, I'd say 4 weeks at a time. I think Utes did a good job on that just because they were extremely hyped. But even now, the hype's kind of died down, right? But I still do see some tweets in my feed because they are going to release their art, stuff like that. So if you can, rather than trying to be number one the whole time, I would say if you can kind of like create your hype, get some people, and then just do some constant posts, and then another hype airdrop, do some stuff, constant posts. You're gonna continue to be relevant, and people are gonna continue to see you on their Twitter feed and on the Discord notifications, stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty interesting strategy, and I'm excited to see like kind of how that's gonna work moving forward, especially if you airdrop other NFTs from collections that are not yours. That's really interesting. Um,
Right. Well, so for demons, we're doing airdrops as well, but instead of Cardano artists and projects, we're celebrating Ethereum artists or Solana artists and projects. Because I mean, if I'm a drifter shoots collector, I'm going to collect his photographs, whether it's on Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, because I'm a fan of his artwork. So I figure if I'm celebrating these artists on different blockchains, these collectors from the other blockchains will come over and try to collect those airdrops too, because they're just fans of those artwork.
Yeah, definitely. It would be pretty cool if, like, let's say, I don't know, I'm thinking of a random project right now. Old ETH project, Alien Friends. If they drop like an alien on ADA and there's only, a certain amount, stuff like that, that could be pretty cool if you really like them, you want to get their collection. And I do want to ask you one
I was
question.
thinking of Alien Boy for a second.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's even older. I was thinking of that.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you a question. I went on your website. The first thing I saw was Mike Tyson holding one of your guys' hoodies. Can you tell me what the hell is going on and how that happened right there?
Yeah, so he's actually a good family friend. My dad went to high school with him in upstate New York, and then they moved to Brooklyn at the same time. So they've been connected for a while since they were children, and then they disconnected for a few years. And then recently, my dad was walking through Las Vegas, and Mike Tyson saw him, and they reconnected. So
Oh,
I
so just by
was so
chance,
he
that's
came
crazy.
over. Yeah, so he came over to our house, and he was talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been in cryptocurrency," and I'm like, "No way, I've been doing it too." And I'm coming out with this project. Would you want to be one of our honorary angels? And I had my artist make an angel in his style. Like, so he has like boxing gloves on and a crown and the heavyweight belt on. And then another time he was in New York, and he called us up. So we went to his hotel room, uh, and I gave him one of the merch. So he was holding that up. But he's great. His family is great, and he's a good friend.
Awesome. Yeah, that was crazy when I saw that. I was like, damn, that's the most random person to have. But I know Mike Tyson is actually not. I'm not gonna say a fan, but he knows about and is slightly involved in crypto and NFTs. So that's kind of cool to see. Um, what's your opinion on kind of like celebrity? I'm not gonna say endorsements, but celebrities going into the crypto space, whether it be launching their own project, endorsing someone else's project, stuff like that. What's kind of your opinion on that?
I think it depends, obviously, case by case. I think that people rely on a celebrity's name to be the foundation of a project, and I think any project that does that is ultimately going to fail. But if it's an added boost, if it's just a celebrity being a fan of a project, I think that's awesome. And I think it could be done well, or it could be done poorly. Like if you look at Blau, he's a DJ, and he's probably one of the first celebrities to like really just adopt the Web3 lifestyle. So he made an album as an NFT, and whoever owns the NFT gets royalties for that music. That when he would go on
Dope.
tour and or it would go on the radio, and that was just such a cool integration of NFTs. And I mean, you see him on Twitter every single day, interacting with the community, and that's very genuine, and that's just leveraging his platform to tap into a deeper NFT community, and that I support 1000%. But if you're a celebrity and somebody's like, you could make so much money as an NFT, or and you just throw your name and or your face on this collection and you'll make $1 million. That I mean, I try to avoid celebrity NFTs because of that reason, because it is, I just from experience, I know how much of a time commitment it is and how much dedication it takes to be a part of the space and to truly run a project
And
and
those
care about a
projects don't
project.
even do
And
well sometimes. Like I think it was Chris
exactly,
Brown or someone. They sold like 100 out of 10K or some random thing like that.
exactly, because I think that the community now could start to sniff it out. I think initially when we first started seeing it about a year ago, people were eating it up, and they would lose so much money on it because finally people realize that these people have lives outside of NFTs. Us, we chose this lifestyle. We chose to be 20 hours a day, 7 days a week in here, and that's not a commitment that they can make. But if a celebrity targets it in a genuine way, the way that Blau did, or a few other celebrities, then I fully support that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think if you are a celebrity launching your own collection, you need to say like, "Hey, this is going to give you access to my exclusive party," or like something like that, or maybe tickets to your shows, whatever it is, whatever kind of celebrity you are. If you're just launching a collection to launch it, it's not going to go well. And we've been seeing people like you said are waking up to the kind of scams and things like that. I think what you did with Mike was dope. It's literally just him like he fucks with the project, he wants to support you, stuff like that, and that's it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I think that's a lot more genuine than being the Mike Tyson NFT that he never actually touches. You know, that he never it gives any input for. His face is used as it, but those are the ones that I try to avoid.
Yeah, there you go. Now I want to ask you, let's say 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, if everything goes according to plan, what does Angel Baby Hit Squad look like? You know, maybe you have multiple collections, things like that. Tell me what that looks like in the future.
Yeah, so we have Angel Baby Hit Squad, and then we have Demon Hit Squad, and that fulfills the culmination of the project of where we want it to be, both collections. We're upgrading the Angel art to call them the Cherubim because we want it to be a bit more brandable than Angel Baby Hit Squad. So it's going to be the Cherubim and Demon Hit Squad, and we're looking to grow the project, extend outside of just the Cardano ecosystem, and build. I mean, my professional background is in business development and marketing. I was C-level at a payment processing company in New York City before
Nice.
I left to go full time into this space. Um, and my specialty is these brand developments and changing the image of a brand and making it mainstream. So that's what I'm going to be refocusing from selling the project to building the brand of the project. The first utilization of that is we extended the Angel Baby Hit Squad IP so that anybody could use the full IP, not only the image of the angel that you collect, but the full name, as long as it's approved by the project. Then so we have a official rug maker now. So they make a rug with our logo, and anybody could buy that. Somebody's working on Angel
That's
Baby
so.
Hit Squad tomato sauce. Somebody's working on Angel Baby Hit Squad hot sauce. Somebody's doing Angel Baby Hit Squad coffee. And we're so now we have each of these collectors who end up becoming creators and brand builders for the entire project. So it's refocusing from just these small images, because how much can you really do with an angel just throwing it on something? But if you could tap into a community of 3,000 collectors, and do it in whatever specialty that you have, say you make chairs really well and you just throw the logo on that, now you're our
You know,
official
you know what's
chair
crazy?
partner.
That's what I was thinking because when I think of angels or kind of just I'm thinking of your current art though. I really think of something obviously angelic, kind of royal and luxurious maybe. I was thinking like some type of furniture or maybe a
Yeah,
household brand or something that
right,
revolves around luxury.
exactly.
I'm not sure what your new art's going to look like. I'm excited to see that. But I think yeah, I think there's a lot of I'm gonna say options when it comes to using the angels for something, and it's gonna be really interesting to kind of see what you guys can do in the future and what who you're able to give your IP to that wants to build using the Angel Baby Hit Squad name. I think it's gonna be crazy.
Right. So it's just about pushing that and developing that out, and then tapping into my network. So everything that we've done so far, the Mike Tyson, every single partnership that we have, we did a charity giveaway with Romero Brito, who's one of the most famous artists from Brazil. He's down in Miami. If you ever walk the streets of Miami, you'll see his artwork.
Yeah,
That's all while I was working on selling the collection. If I could devote my entire time at brand building and creating these partnerships and just extending the value of holding an angel, then we're going to see some serious numbers.
nice. Speaking of developing, how hard is it to develop on both Ethereum and Cardano at the same time? Is that a challenge?
So our entire team is native Cardano, um, which is like, I mean, it made it initially hard to break into the Ethereum ecosystem. I mean, still we've still had about 300 unique holders come in and create Cardano wallets for the first time through the project, which we're really proud about. But the
Nice.
initial creation of like the smart contract and everything was difficult. I had my Cardano developer. I'm like, all right, you have this many months. You need to learn Solidity, and you need to write a smart contract. And he did it, killed it.
Just learn it, bro.
Then
It's
we
easy, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
learn it, figure it out. But he did really well with that. We started going on spaces in the Ethereum ecosystem, and it worked. Um, and then did we also have a partner at Lovelace World who created that bridge, the where we recognize which Ethereum wallet and which ADA wallet are associated, and which wallets we should airdrop to. So it was not. I mean, it was harder for my developer than harder for me, but we figured it out.
So you said it was called Lovelace, right?
Lovelace World, yeah.
Tell me a little about what is Lovelace World and how does it work by connecting Cardano and Ethereum ecosystem?
So the
And what do
way
you what do
you
you do with it? Sorry to cut you off. And what you guys do with it?
Yeah, so when you mint an angel or when you buy an angel on secondary, you could go to our Discord or our link tree on our Twitter, and it says Love Link. So you click that, you click connect your Ethereum wallet, it'll pop up your MetaMask. You type in your ADA address and you type in your Discord username just so we know where to contact you, and then you click sign. And that just goes into our database. So now we know this Ethereum wallet is tied to this ADA
So
address,
you have to
and
sign
we scan.
You have to sign on each wallet so you know it's you, right?
You sign on just the Ethereum wallet.
Oh, because I guess that makes sense, right? Because you only
Yeah.
need to know. So basically, all you need to do is really connect to your Ethereum wallet, type in your Cardano address, put your Discord, which takes about 1 second, and then push sign, and you're ready to get the airdrops. So it's not that bad.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Super easy. And if anybody needs help, I mean, we have a bunch of people in the Discord that are there dedicated to helping people out.
Nice. Awesome. So it basically you copy paste something 3 times and then you're good to go and you sign it on your wallet. That's pretty crazy actually. I didn't know it was that simple. For us, not for your developer, but I'm gonna add that.
Yeah.
Um so on your website, I see you have 9 team members, it looks like, and then 2 partners. One of your partners was the Lovelace, and the other one is the Rokindo Collective. Sorry if I said that wrong. Can you tell me who they are and what you guys do together?
So Rokendo Collective, he's more an advisor in the project. That he is I guess a manager of a few different collections on the Cardano blockchain, Hype Skulls, Digital Life, uh, Joseph, and Sacred. There's like 5 different projects that he helps coordinate and push that forward. And I wanted like a powerhouse like that to be an advisor for the project and just basically to rattle information off of and be like, hey, I have a question about this, or hey, I have a question about this. What do you think? So that's the extent of that partnership.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. And then so you have 9 team members, right? Can you tell me a little bit about what the rest of your team does? So you have you, an artist, a developer, and then what are the other, let's say, 6 people? You don't have to go one by one, just a kind of overview of what they help with.
Yeah. So I have myself. I have an artist. That's Shinji Akira. Our backup, our secondary artist, not backup. They work together. Is King Debs. Our primary developer is Omelets. Our secondary developer who did like the front end is Mr. Intangible. Our advisors are Greek Freak, Rokindo, and then our community manager is Sick. And then I'm missing. Oh, and myself. So that's
There
9.
you go. You forgot
Uh,
yourself.
yeah. But yeah, so that's who we have on the team. We're actually redoing the entire Angel Baby Hit Squad website and the Demon Hit Squad website now, and that should be done in the next few days.
Nice. What's your goal for redoing the website? Are you trying to convey a different point or?
I think, well, we haven't updated the website since we launched because we were focusing on the partnerships and selling the collection. So it's just giving people an understanding of what we've accomplished so far and then what we're looking to accomplish going forward, updating the roadmap and making it more digestible and also just cooler. We want it to be more cohesive between angels and demons so people could click through and get what we're doing. And
Oh,
we hired an awesome firm doing that. Like they're really professional. We're excited about showing them.
awesome. Hell yeah. I'm excited to see that for sure. How long has Angel Baby Hit Squad been live for?
So it's been live about 10 months now. It's a very slow mint. At the first few days, we minted 13% of the collection. And a
Hmm.
lot of people would give up then and like just move on. But I mean, I think I'm a little bit too determined and I knew what I wanted to build with the collection. So every day since then, we've had mints and now we're about 75% minted. And you know how difficult it is to like after the first few days of hype
Yeah.
to get that attention. So from 13% the first few days to 75% now has been an awesome accomplishment. And we're really excited about the growth that's happened since then.
Yeah,
And we
that's
still we
crazy.
haven't had a day yet with 0 mints, which is awesome. People
Nice.
are still finding a reason to join in.
Are all the one of ones minted already? Do you know?
No, there's still three of them remaining. Only 4 have been minted out of 8,200, and then out of the remaining 2,700, 24, 2,900, there's 3 remaining. So the odds of getting an ultimate one are much stronger than when we started.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that once you lose that initial hype from your mint, most projects do not come back from that. What they'll do is they'll cut supply or they'll kind of just wash their hands with the whole project. They'll do some crazy stuff when that mint doesn't work out. The fact that you didn't mint out, which is not the ideal scenario, but it happened. Yet you stuck with the project and you're continuing to build, obviously continuing to make content. we're here right now spreading the word for the project. That's super important because not every project sells out instantly, but I've rarely seen one, if any, projects continue to mint over a long period of time. Usually it's if the project doesn't sell out, the mint is done. So it's very interesting to see that you guys are actually still minting and potentially will fully mint out one day in the near future. It's really interesting.
Right. Well, I mean, I think if we're building a business, I see any project as a business. And if we're building a business that's intended to last for 5 years, for 10 years, why would we cut off the primary income source day three, day four, because we only minted 13%? It's like if I made 1,000 sweatshirts and I was trying to sell 1,000 sweatshirts and I only sold 15 of them. Would I burn uh, the other 985 of them, or would I try to continue selling it and continue trying to grow the business? I think that it's a lot more telling of a collection that cuts the supply or or burns the or cuts the mint because they didn't have that long-term vision of what they intended to build. And I know what I want to see this collection become, and I won't stop at 10%, at 13%. I'm going to fight for it to be 100%, and then I'm going to show why people who trusted in me, uh, why, like, what I could do for them.
Yeah. And I mean all it takes is one whale to like sweep the floor on OpenSea and now like everyone starts minting again and you sell out like that. And maybe the whale's watching right now, who knows. So, hello Mr. Whale. But I want to ask
Right,
you.
like I said, there's only
Yeah, go
like I
ahead.
said, there's only 50 on secondary. There's
Yeah.
only 50 on secondary, so I mean they don't have many options right now besides minting.
That's true actually. Yeah, if there's only 50, that's a crazy low number for a collection of what 8300. Wow. So, I'm very interested to see actually what is going to happen with that. Um so how important is it for a project that let's say didn't sell out? How important is it for them to not kind of change their collection? Do you think it is kind of a disservice to the community if they're like, "Hey, we're going to burn the supply." Do you think they should leave it like what you're doing? What's your opinion on that?
Of course, because when I went into this project, I budgeted out what my expected costs were, what I intend to give back to the community in terms of utility, what what I could use to develop it through partnerships, and the cost to acquire those. And if I were to burn the collection at 10% minted, at 13% minted, what I did the first few days, then everything that I budgeted out, I wouldn't be able to accomplish any of that. So it's doing a uh, huge disservice to your community because they trusted in you enough to spend their hard-earned dollars to mint your collection, and just because you didn't do so well as you initially thought, you're going to be cutting into what they expected or what you expected to give them by 90%. So I think that it may it, I think that clearly there's issues that cause the collection only to get 10% or 15% minted, and the goal of what we like, it's about figuring out what those issues were, changing them, and then moving forward. And we've been able to do that so far and get us to 75% minted. And I think that those collections should address what the issues were, why did this happen, and why did this go wrong, change them, fix them, and then move forward and continue the mint, and give to the collectors what you promised them.
Yeah, it's very important. And actually what's crazy about that is a lot of founders that I'm going to say rugged their projects or it didn't go out and they gave up, they're actually getting in trouble by the government. And there's been a few people, I forgot if they're going to jail or they're getting slapped with like a huge fine. I can't remember what happened. So, props to you for pushing through it. You know what you got to do and you're doing it, and it's crazy to see that, and I'm sure the viewers and holders also appreciate that. Now, tell me why you used angel babies as your art for the brand. Does it have anything to do with like
Yeah.
when I think of an angel baby, I think of streetwear and PacSun. I don't know why. Can you tell me a little bit about why you chose that?
Well, initially it was created because, well, I knew I wanted to do the Ethereum NFT utility. And my girlfriend, she has a clothing company in New York City called 99 Angels. So I'm like, I'll do angels. Um, and but I wanted them to have a dark side. So I wanted them to hold knives and guns and stuff like that. And angels are this like purveying image that has been around since the beginning of time, and will continue to be. I mean, it's in the Bible. You see it in artwork everywhere. You see it if you're walking through the streets of Italy, you'd see statues of angels, and it's this image that you'll consistently be reminded of. You're not going to be seeing a robot in 200 years ago, or you're not going to be seeing like an ape in art. You know, I want something
Huh.
that's going to be
Well, maybe now
something
you will, but
here,
yeah.
here. Yeah, now you will. But I wanted something that's going to be lasting and brandable, so that we could build the project and uh, tap into whatever network it we could do. And if you're on like the angelic side, we'll use the angels. If you're on the darker side, we'll use the demons. And we have this purveying image that could be applied wherever we choose to as we grow the project. So that was the intention and why we chose angels.
You know what's crazy actually is, and this is kind of weird that I'm bringing this up, but I'm gonna do it anyway. About a month ago, my girlfriend and I accidentally went to like an emo market, and it was like emo, like there was a bunch of demon stuff. There was like some things I didn't even know existed that we found there. And like I walked in and it was not what I expected, but and it was like goth, emo, all that, and I was like, "All right, we're going to check it out. We're already here, right?" Everyone's wearing black, dark red, you know, like the girls are wearing the fishnets, all that stuff. And I'm here wearing like a bright shirt. You know, it's like it was a nice sunny day, and there was so many people in a market for that kind of, I'm not going to say that kind of demonic stuff or the darker stuff. And the fact that you can kind of hit that, but then also appeal to, I'm going to say, the more mainstream, kind of brighter, happier feel, I think that's really interesting. And there was a whole market of people that I had no idea exist. Kind of like when I found the Cardano market. Like there was just so many people, and I was like, wow, these people are really obsessed with this thing. And this is a huge niche that I didn't even know existed. So it's really interesting that you mentioned the kind of, you can kind of appeal to what, if a brand needs a lighter persona or a darker persona. That's crazy.
Right. We had the intention from day one of where we could bring this business, and limiting it to a specific piece of artwork that doesn't translate across the globe, is extremely limiting. So now with both angels and demons, we have that flexibility to target whoever we want to target.
Awesome. And for the viewers watching that don't know what it's like to make a partnership in Web3, right? Because you are airdropping collections that aren't yours. Can you explain to me the process of what it's like to kind of talk to another founder and say, hey, I want to partner with you. What can we do? What can I do for you? Stuff like that.
Yeah, so I for the initial setup of it for our standard airdrops, I made it a little bit more cookie cutter, because we had so many of them, uh, that to customize it to each collection would be a little bit difficult. So I already established a name for myself in the community for being like a very open voice. I mean, I'll say it how it is. Um, so when I reached out to these collections and I'm like, hey, I'm creating this project. Do you want to be an airdropper for us? I'll pay you 2 to 3 Ethereum upfront, and then 50% of the royalties. We put a 5% on all the royalties of the airdrops.
Yeah.
50% of those will go to you, on an ongoing basis. So it was just me reaching out to a bunch of different artists and projects that I respected in this space and saying like, hey, would you be up for this? The partnerships that go a little bit deeper, like Frescoes, where they offer, the upgrades and discounts at hotels throughout Europe for our holders, that takes a little bit more care, a lot more time. So me and Kuz, he's the founder of that project. We were on calls for hours and hours and hours on end about going into the how the partnership would work out. But every conversation that I have with a different project owner or founder is about developing the project and giving back to my holders. So
Yeah.
it's all going in with that intention and trying to figure out how to do that the best to not only reward my holders but to respect their projects and respect their holders.
Yeah, so it's weird in Web3 guys because you have to find a project not only that'll work with you, but also one that where your core values align. The
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
That's absolutely true too, because when you establish this tie, whether it's through an airdrop or whether it's through even a whitelist giveaway, you're creating that association between your project and another project. So if that project that you collaborate with rugs, that's tainting your own collection,
Yeah, facts.
and that's tainting your own image. Um, so that is a very careful consideration that I put into every artist or every project that I reach out to is, do I see these artists and projects being sustainable? Do I see them around next year, in 5 years? Are these ones that I see growth potential in? And if the answer is yes to each of those questions, then yes, I'll partner with you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's such an important thing to partner with projects where your values are aligned, because if something goes downhill, like you mentioned, or if that project doesn't really align with your values, your holders are gonna know that, right? And they're gonna know this really isn't on brand. It's probably slapped together, something like that. Or if it's a rug, people are gonna be pissed. So very important. And it's good to like kind of choose exactly who your partners are going to be. Do you have any advice to, let's say, a future founder or someone who's looking to start their own project? Maybe something you would have told yourself before you started Angel Baby Hit Squad?
Yeah, it's a lot more time than you would expect. Like I've ran businesses in the past before I'm an entrepreneur. Um, and those are 15, 16 hours a day, 5 days a week. In the Web3 space, everything's moving a mile a minute, and if you're not on the pulse, then you get left behind. So this space is 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, no hours off. I'm up at 3 4 a.m. for calls with people in Singapore, just
Damn.
to continue the project and develop it. So it's a lot more of a time commitment than you would initially expect going into it. Um, in the same vein, it's extremely rewarding, having that community support you, and seeing the value that you're giving to them, and how much they care about this this work that you poured your life into for 6 months, 8 months, however long it took you to create the project. So it's give and take, but expect a lot of time commitment. If you're in school, it's going to be a lot more difficult to run the project than if you're not. If you have a 9 to 5 business, you're not going to be able to do a project the same way that somebody who leaves it
No way.
could devote to the project. So that would be my initial advice. I would tap back to your advice before about partnering with the right projects, about making sure that the association is clean, and then just being a good person. You want to be like regarded well in the space. You want people to say good things about you.
Yeah, exactly. And I do have a quick question because I just kind of personally am wondering this. If I'm not a fan of art, should I still own an Angel Baby? Because, like, let's say I'm not a fan of art, right? I just like NFTs for the technology or maybe what they offer. Um, like, what's my place in the Angel Baby Hit Squad? Or maybe is it just not for me?
Well, I think that the entire space is about collectibles. I mean, CryptoPunks haven't done anything besides being a CryptoPunk, and they did do me bits, but besides that, they have this crazy valuation because they were the first 10K PFP on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the same thing for Spacebuds on Cardano. They were the first 10K, even though like the developer's been awesome and has created so many awesome integrations. But if you're in this space purely for collectibles, there needs to be a reason why you're collecting it, regardless of the art or regardless of the technology. And we are the first cross-chain Ethereum NFT with Cardano utility. So if you're a fan of both blockchains, and you want that piece of history, just owning an angel, that's part of the collectible history of it.
Nice. And so you are on Ethereum and Cardano. Can we expect you on another chain anytime soon? Let's say Solana or maybe one of the lesser knowns like Tezos, something like that.
Yeah, so our two collections, Angels and Demons, Ethereum, Cardano, those are it. But in terms of airdrops, we've definitely been talking to artists and creators on different blockchains about showing a little love to different blockchains as well. So it's about building out those integrations, about building out the wallet connection, so we recognize which wallets get it. But we definitely intend to celebrate that. We're looking at Ergo, we're looking at Solana, Tezos, IOTA,
Nice.
and then there's one other one that we were looking at. But yeah, we're definitely exploring that, not in the sense that we're releasing a collection, but to celebrate an artist or a collection on those chains. Yes.
Awesome. Got it. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about kind of the state of the NFT market. Right now, we're in what's known as crypto winter, where there is very little volume. Well, not very little, right? It's just a lot less volume, a lot less people, a lot less content, and a lot less eyes on the space. Do you think things are going to be different when the kind of new bull market comes around? Do you think that the projects now are going to be the ones we're seeing in the future? Or do you think that projects are going to surface from kind of nowhere and create more hype? And also, how do you guys plan to operate differently in the bear market versus the bull market?
Well, I've been in crypto since 2015,
Oh, wow.
so
Long time.
I've seen the last the, the last winter, and I know how long it can be. Um, so just running a business, um, if you see the market fall or crash, you restructure, and you make sure you take away expenses that you were intending to put into maybe marketing budgets, and you reallocate those towards surviving. And I think that the NFT projects that could survive through this market are the ones that are going to thrive when we come back around, and it's inevitable that we come back around. It's every market always has ebbs and flows. So it's about the people that are present, and it's about paying attention to the people that are present and still putting in the work, regardless of if it's a bear market or a bull market. But if you're a project founder, you should be taking a step back, seeing where you're burning money and extending your road, your forget what the word is for it, but
I think it's called churn.
your runway, yeah, your churn, your runway. You want to extend that as long as possible because you don't know how long this market is going to be the way that it. The bull market comes back, then reallocating towards marketing. So that would be my advice towards a creator. Collector would be the same thing. Consolidate into those collections that you see consistently putting in work, because once you've consolidated into those primary collections, once the bull market comes, those are going to be the ones that 100x, 1000x, and you're going to be sitting pretty, not in all these different projects that fell by the wayside. And the projects that fail to do that, I mean, in business, 90% of projects fail in their businesses fail in their first year, and 90% of those fail in the next 5 years after that. So we're in this hyperspace of crypto. You have to you have to shorten that timeline to
Yeah.
like 2 months.
It's like
So
2 months.
not
Most businesses fail in 2 months versus like 8 months. It's crazy how fast things are
yeah,
going.
yeah. So you have to shorten that timeline, and realize that just throwing 100 darts at a dartboard isn't going to work, but like walking up to the dartboard and putting a few in, that's going to work, and that's going to make
Mm.
sure that you're surviving in this market. So it's about consolidating, and it's about restructuring for a creator.
Nice. And then getting to the final end of the interview here, we know that you're driving value to your holders of your NFT by giving them airdrops as well as like the exclusive perks we mentioned, hotel visits, parties, things like that. How are you driving value to the actual company of Angel Baby Hit Squad? Kind of like a Web2 revenue generation model.
So that's been something that we've been developing the past few months, and realizing that when the Web3 space doesn't act as hot, and you can't rely on mints and you can't rely on royalties to sustain a project, you need to create these alternate forms of revenue stream.
Yeah, real
Uh,
quick, I want to say
whether
something to the viewers. What he means is that right now, NFT projects, I'm going to say 99% of them, the only way they're getting their money is by people flipping on secondary, and they take like, usually it's 5% of that. So, what we're figuring out kind of as NFTs are evolving is we need more money for the projects. We got developers, we got artists, we got our marketing guy, we got our Discord mods, we got our founders who have kids they need to feed, stuff like that. So we need more money, right? And yeah, they sold out or they sold some NFTs, but this is a business. It takes a lot of money and people need to get paid. So we're figuring out that we need to kind of find more models to generate money for our business other than royalties. Sorry to cut you off. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, of course. I think that a lot of founders got lazy, and they're like, oh, these are gonna be this is going to be a sustainable revenue stream
Nope.
forever, and that's just not the case. And being in other businesses before, getting into the space, made me aware of that and made us kind of prepare for that a little bit earlier. So it depends on the project what they want to do. It could be merch. I mean, we sell merch on our website. um, that was actually the reason we extended the ABHS IP from only your specific angel to the full IP, because when these individual creators create their rugs or pasta sauces or chairs or whatever it may be, they're keeping, depending on the amount of work that the project has to does, they keep 95% of the revenue, but then the project gets 5% for them tapping into our community. So it's about creating as many of those as possible, to have that consistent revenue stream outside of the Web3 ecosystem.
Real quick, I want to ask you about that. So why would I kind of make my brand an Angel Baby Hit Squad hot sauce instead of like Texas Road style barbecue sauce? Why would I use your brand? Like, do you help out the companies? Do you kind of market for them, or what do you guys do for them?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're just a person in your home and you have this awesome uh, barbecue sauce, it's very difficult to get in front of thousands of people and have them try your sauce, or at least see or hear about your sauce, unless
Facts.
you're like on the street, like stopping people. With our IP extended offer, now you throw on our design, our label on, you get the Angel Baby Hit Squad barbecue, then it's promoted in front of our network of 3,000, our Twitter of 9,000 people, my Twitter of 18,000 people, our holders, which are 2,200 people. And you tap into this huge network of people that really care about the Angel project, the Angel Baby Hit Squad project.
That
So
makes
if they
sense.
care so much about the Angel Baby Hit Squad project, they're going to want to try the Angel Baby Hit Squad coffee. They're going to want to try the Angel Baby Hit Squad barbecue
It's
sauce
kind of
too.
like it's kind of like an endorsement a little bit. For example, I really like let's say I like LeBron James and LeBron James makes a hot sauce. I might go buy that just cuz I like him. So, with NFTs, usually when you're a holder for a reason, right? Unless you just don't want to flip or your NFT goes to zero. But a lot of people who hold NFTs are very big fans and they're loyal followers to the founder and the kind of what the project's doing. So if you release, let's say, a hot sauce or a chair or something, people are more likely to buy it just because they're closely tied with the Angel Baby Hit Squad. So I can definitely see how this will help projects who are looking to start from the ground up, start from ground zero, to get those first, let's say, 10 to 100 to possibly even 1,000 customers. So it is very interesting, and it actually makes me think that if someone were to do this on a giant scale, that could be a crazy idea for Web3 marketing. Actually, it's
Right.
really
I
interesting
mean,
point.
we're a small project. If
Yeah,
Board Ape Yacht Club did it, if Board Ape Yacht Club did that, you know how many people would be tapping into that community and how big the Board Ape Yacht Club brand would
there's
grow.
there's a burger spot in LA, which is, or I think it's in Hollywood. I
Right.
can't remember. The Board Burger, which has their ape.
Board in Hungary has the specific ape, but imagine if it was the official Board Ape Yacht Club burger spot.
Yeah,
Then everybody would want to go, and just because the person who was running that had an ape and they could tap into the actual IP of Board Ape Yacht Club, that extends the entire brand of the entire ecosystem, not just that
nice.
person's specific IP.
Yeah, so you're not just going to Board Ape 0367 store. You're going to the Board Ape Yacht Club's store. And that's what it would be like for Angel Baby Hit Squad, right?
Right.
Awesome. Very, very interesting stuff. And I'm super excited to see how that kind of progresses because, as we mentioned, it does really have a lot of potential in the near future, too, especially when the bull market comes back around. So we are going to go ahead and end things here, Fettuccini. Go ahead and once again tell us, about a little bit about what you're doing, why someone should buy a baby angel, and then where we can follow you, Twitter, Discord, etc., all that.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening. I'm Fettuccine. You could follow me on Twitter, Fettuccine NFT. You could follow our project, Angel Baby Hits SQD. We have angels on Ethereum. We have demons coming on Cardano. You'll get the Cardano airdrops for holding the Ethereum asset. You could hop in our Discord just to chill and hang out and ask questions. It's discord.gg/ABHS. And then just follow along. I mean, this is the most fun space that anyone could be in. It's ever evolving. It's so dynamic. It's thrilling. I mean,
It's
there's
crazy.
drama every day. It's such a fun space to be involved in. So um, I hope that following me, following Nash, or following the project gives some extra fun in your life.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for coming on here, Fettuccini. Once again, guys, you're listening to Farmer Nash. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment who you guys would like me to interview next. We do games, projects, founders, anything is on the table. So like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe.